1820, British missionaries step onto New Zealand soil, armed with certainty. They know what they'll find: savage warriors, brutalized women desperate for salvation. Within weeks, their certainty shatters. The women they came to rescue own land outright, not through fathers, not through husbands. Direct ownership. A Maori woman points to her property. It's hers. The missionary's wife owns nothing. Everything she brought to marriage legally belongs to her husband. The warriors who just terrorized British troops go home and listen to their wives. Not pretend listening. Actual listening. These men who show no mercy in battle never question their wives' right to refuse sex. The concept is so obvious it doesn't need stating. Back in Britain, marital rape isn't even legally recognized. A wife has no right to say no. A Maori woman decides her marriage is over. She leaves. Takes her property. Returns to her family. No lawyer, no husband's permission, no scandal. In Britain, divorce requires an Act of Parliament, costs a fortune, destroys a woman's reputation forever. British officers watch warriors carry their infants, play with children, help with household work. They write home, scandalized. These fierce fighters act like mothers. In Victorian England, such behavior would be considered unmanly. In Maori culture, it's called fatherhood. The contradiction breaks European logic. Warrior societies oppress women, that's the rule. Civilization elevates them. But these warriors treat women better than civilized British men. The framework can't hold both truths, so Europeans reject what they're seeing. A woman with a Moko Kawi chin tattoo walks past. Warriors find her beautiful. She chose this, endured days of pain, wears it with pride. Meanwhile, European women are corset-laced into medical damage to meet male preference. Which culture respects female autonomy? Women attend war councils. Their strategic insights shape tactics. In some tribes, female chiefs command warriors who follow orders without question. Britain won't let women vote for another century. An abusive Maori husband faces consequences: community intervention, loss of status, possible exile. British law explicitly permits a husband beating his wife, within reasonable limits. Young Maori women choose their own partners. They pursue men they desire. Reject men they don't. Missionary journals overflow with shock. Moral degradation, they write. The Maori call it natural autonomy. In polygamous households, each wife must consent to additional wives. Can refuse. Can leave. All retain property rights. The polygamy requires ongoing consent, not a husband's unilateral decree. Childbirth brings community support, experienced women, shared knowledge, actual effectiveness. In Britain, isolated women face labor attended by male doctors who've never given birth themselves. Master weavers hold high status. Maori beauty standards admire physical capability women who can walk distances, carry loads, work hard. European beauty requires weakness, delicate, corseted, decorative. European medical texts claim women are naturally frigid, incapable of sexual pleasure. Maori culture expects men to care about their wives' satisfaction. It's not taboo. It's basic partnership. That missionary in 1820 came to rescue oppressed women. He found women with rights European women won't gain for a century. Property ownership, late 1800s. Voting, 1900s. Legal right to refuse marital sex, late 1900s. Maori women already had all of it. So Europeans rewrote the narrative. Called these practices immoral. Savage. Never acknowledged that by practical measures property rights, bodily autonomy, voice in decisions Maori culture was ahead. Instead, they imposed European marriage laws, property restrictions. Reduced Maori women's rights to match European standards. Called it civilization. It was cultural colonization that took rights away and called it progress. Here's what those Maori warriors understood that European civilization hadn't learned. Respecting your wife doesn't make you weak. Women's autonomy doesn't threaten society. Partnership works better than domination. They lived this truth daily. And Europeans called them savages for it. the labels don't guarantee the reality. Technology doesn't equal moral superiority. Winning wars doesn't mean treating people better. The civilization that considered itself superior was treating half its population as legal property. The warriors they called primitive had already figured out equality. And that contradiction was too threatening to acknowledge.